Welcome back, Better Agents. Nicholas Ayers coming to you live from Better Agency HQ. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a topic that I get asked about quite a bit. And we're going to talk about the best and worst platforms for marketing your insurance agency. Now, before we get into the video, let's do all the YouTube things. Let's subscribe to the channel, let's like the video, and comment down below. Let me know the best and worst experiences you've had with any of the platforms that we talk about today. Let's start with personal lines. If you're an insurance agency that focuses on personal lines, then I think the best platform that you should be spending your time and money on is Facebook. You should be on Facebook every single day. In Facebook in particular, I would spend a lot of time in groups, and I would also spend a lot of time on my own personal feed talking about insurance, educating people, befriending people in my community, whether it's centers of influence, whether it is referral partners, whether it's key important people, customers even. I would be focusing on spreading information, using the platform, because it still is a very social platform. And as long as you're not posting a lot of links or taking people off the platform, it does really, really well. So a good little hack or a good little tactic is to do long form content with a picture, talk about your agency, talk about your value proposition, talk about whatever it is that you're involved with in your community. And then if you really want to post links or take people off the platform, post those down in the comments. But I would really be spending a lot of time in my local neighborhood Facebook group or any sort of niche Facebook group that I either create, own, or am heavily a part of. So if you have a personalized niche, maybe it's affluent homeowners, maybe it's boats, maybe it's RVs, it doesn't really matter what it is. There's gonna be lots of community groups that you could be spending your time in. And if there's not one that's local to your state or where you're licensed, then create one. Put the time in, manage it, put out content, invite people. This is a great ecosystem for you to achieve new levels of authority with new people. I think it's a really strong platform still in 2022. So Facebook for personal lines. I think a very close runner-up to Facebook for personalized agencies is vertical video with shorts, reels, and TikTok. These platforms, whether it be on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok itself, using vertical video with your phone where you're just recording on your phone and you can do little bits, you can do educational pieces, you can do your own perspective or opinion. I think they have tremendous reach. The algorithms on these platforms, they are hungry for content. So if you can post to them every single day, it doesn't have to be something that you overthink. Like this video here, I've overthought it to a degree. It doesn't have to be anything like that. It could just be you driving to work, walking in the office, talking about this, that, or whatever. It could be client testimonials. It could be a perspective. It could be a story that you tell. I think using vertical video on these platforms, because they're so hungry for content, they're going to distribute it at a pace that is unlike any other platform right now. So think about vertical video on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can take the same videos and put them on all three platforms. I think the best platform for B2B or commercial insurance is still LinkedIn. I think if you are doing commercial lines, whether it is middle market or Main Street and anything in between, you need to be on LinkedIn. You need to be posting there every single day, multiple times if you can, repurposing content, being very active on LinkedIn organically. Again, much like TikTok or Instagram Reels, this is a platform that is still hungry for content, and the way that it treats content with its algorithm is it's pushing out content to everybody. So it's just not to people that you're connected with, but anytime somebody likes that content or engages with that content, their sphere sees it. So if you believe in the old adage, birds of a feather flock together, then you need to be on LinkedIn. And the stuff that you want to post on LinkedIn is very educational, it's very helpful, it's client testimonials, it's narratives, it's stories, it's point of views, it's opinions. It could be provocative, it could be something that is shared by the mainstream whoever, but you want to be talking about how you have this opinion or things that you're seeing in the marketplace, bringing expertise. This is something you need to be doing. And the best thing about LinkedIn, if you want to get into the ad space, is LinkedIn ads allow you to do targeting that no other platform allows you to do, especially for B2B. You can go specifically to the company, you can go to the job title, you can go to anybody who works. So if you're focusing on companies with 50 employees or more or 100 employees or more, you can target those employees, or you can target specific job titles in those categories or at that type of industry. This is a no-brainer. You should be spending a ton of time and effort and money just throwing everything you can to get in front of these people. And the content you want to put out in ads is stuff that's very educational, very helpful, but things that lead back to your agency, lead back to you. So don't just think about white papers. Don't just think about products and and stuff that people are never going to read, but think about things that are going to bring tremendous value, freemium type products, things that are really going to help them with their risk management, whether it's on their comp side, the cyber liability side. Try to think about and work with your carriers if you can, figure out what you can give them that's going to be a freemium product or something that's going to be very helpful so that you can get into their world. They're going to see value in it, and then they're going to see you as the expert. LinkedIn for B2B, bar none, nothing is better. The other platforms are making headway, they're getting better at it, but LinkedIn is still king for B2B or commercial insurance. Now, much in the same way that we talked about best runner-up for personal lines and we talked about vertical video for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, I want to talk about the most underutilized platform for B2B or commercial insurance, and it is long-form content on YouTube. If you're serious about going after these larger accounts, these larger niches, these companies with 50 employees or more, or whatever the case, revenue numbers, then I think you need to be investing heavily into YouTube. Here's the thing we all know, it's not any sort of secret that the buying cycles for commercial insurance, they're just longer. People take their time. They're not in as much of a hurry or a rush to switch agents or carriers or providers. The buying cycle is different on commercial lines than it is on personal lines. People take their time. They want to be educated more. They want more information. I think the best platform that you should be doing that on is YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And so where a lot of people have focused traditional SEO on regular Google search is not what it has been for the last number of years. You do a Google search for anything and you're inundated with ads or bogus baloney garbage in content, or both. I think video SEO on YouTube, which still ranks in Google, is a tremendous outlet for you to start to get ahead, sort of hack the algorithm a little bit, because people aren't spending enough time there. Make content somewhat in the way that I'm doing content like this. And if you're serious about it, you'll bring somebody on your team, or you'll make the conscious decision that you're gonna make content. It doesn't have to be as polished as this with lights and microphones and all that. It should be something to the level though that people can easily digest the information. And you want to think about 5 to 10 minute long videos where you're educating people, you're providing information, insight, opinions, perspective, expertise, you're developing authority. You want to do this consistently. You want to do this in a manner that is easy for your customers to find and to want to watch and understand. Long form video content on YouTube is the most underutilized. It's the second largest search engine. The second largest search engine, and people aren't spending enough time on YouTube. Focus on how you can put out content for your niche market or for your ideal customer on YouTube. Now let's talk about the best platform for niche marketing. If you are in a particular niche, whether it's personal lines or commercial lines, I think there's a platform out there for you that isn't getting enough love, and the barrier to entry into this platform is a lot easier than you might think. I think you should be doing a podcast, a local podcast for your community. I live in Mesa, Arizona. You should be doing a Let's Move to Mesa podcast where people who are coming into the area from California and all these other states, I'm doing a what you should expect in Mesa. I'm developing myself as the go-to resource in Mesa. It's generic, but it's got affinity for people that are moving into the area or that have a desire to be in the area or are connected to the area. This is my own soapbox, my own platform where I can develop a listenership. The same is true if you are in a commercial niche. If you focus on trucking, you need to be doing the trucking podcast. I don't care what you need to be talking about. You need to be putting out content on a podcast that you can repurpose on other things as well. You can put that on YouTube. You can do it in all sorts of other areas. You can make vertical videos. You can put it on LinkedIn. You can repurpose that content. But the key platform could be Spotify. It could be anything like that. You can use Spotify ads. You could target people who are listening to other podcasts if the niche already exists. But a niche in commercial is a perfect opportunity for you to put out a podcast where, again, you are educating, you're teaching. And again, the barrier to entry is so low, you don't have to be on camera if you don't want to. In fact, you can get other people from that industry and you can just talk to them, let them talk, let them carry the show for you, and you put it out. But it's hosted by you, it's put out by you, you are the expert, you are the host, you're all those things, you're asking questions, you're getting your prospects on the podcast, and you're talking to them. What a tremendous way to get in front of people and talk about insurance or have them know you are the insurance expert. This is a very underutilized platform for B2B or just niche marketing in general. Now we talked about the best platforms, let's talk about the worst platforms. These are the platforms that if you're spending any time, effort, or money, any resource whatsoever, you need to stop it immediately, or you need to really evaluate, is this platform or is this outlet providing the sort of return on investment for my time and money that I could be putting elsewhere and getting a better result? The worst platform for personal lines is still buying leads. Could you imagine people buy leads still in 2022? It's amazing, but they do, especially independent agents. They're buying these leads from these different lead vendors. Look, if you didn't know, let me just quickly explain how it works. This lead is generated by somebody. That somebody sells it to another person. That person sells it to another person. That person sells it to another person. And then that person sells it to 4 or 5 different agents at a time. That is no way to develop relationships or to build a book of business. You don't want to be purchasing those leads. Listen, I know you probably got all the best systems and processes down, and maybe you close at 20% or more, but man, I just think that that is a horrible way on the independent side to still be doing business in 2022. Don't be buying leads. The worst platform for commercial lines is direct mail. I talk to agents who are still sending pieces of direct mail to their customers. These are customers who, half of them, aren't even in the office anymore. They're working from home and they're still sending direct mail. And when I ask them, what's your return on investment or what's your conversion rate on direct mail, most people will say something like, it's about 1%. So you spent $10,000 to have somebody send out direct mail for you to people who are just not going to respond at all. 99% of people aren't responding. They don't care. They don't want it. They throw it away. It's just fodder. It's kindling. That is a horrible way to be spending money for commercial insurance. Stop doing direct mail or really evaluate your numbers in commercial insurance for direct mail. Now let's talk about the platform that's most likely to be a waste of your time. If in 2022, you're still involved in a local B&I chapter or any sort of referral group like that, you need to stop. It's not that these groups are bad. I just think, this is my opinion, after having been in these groups, after having run these groups, started independent groups, I don't like the concept anymore in 2022 because they're all the same in that as soon as you're gone and you're not the insurance person anymore, people stop referring you. So you feel like you have these golden handcuffs and you have to pay thousands of dollars every year. You gotta go on one-on-ones with the chiropractor. You gotta do a one-on-one with the dog groomer. These people are never going to refer you any business, if not anything, it's substantially. And the moment that you stop spending the thousands of dollars and wasting the hours and hours and hours every month doing these things, going to events, going to breakfast, putting down $15 at the local Denny's for your B&I breakfast, the moment you stop doing that, people stop referring you. And the business from the people in the group, they take it away. They leave. They go somewhere else. They go to the new insurance person. This is not how you should be doing things in 2022. If you're involved in B&I, LaTip, or any other sort of group like that, then don't do it. Now listen, if you're involved in a group and it's very community focused, or the dues are nominal, or you're gonna go to breakfast with these people anyway, that's fine. I'm talking about the really formal, strict, stringent rules of these larger types of referral groups, B&I, LaTip, all of those. Horrible time investment and money investment, especially for personal lines. Let's talk about the worst strategy that's currently going on today. The thing I see a lot of agents doing, tripping over themselves to get involved with, and they don't quite understand the pain points or the hassles or the heartache that's soon to follow if they keep going down this path. And it's this concept that you're gonna give leads to loan officers in exchange for their referral business. Much like the B&I groups before, the moment you stop supplying leads is the moment they stop wanting to do business with you. You don't wanna give leads to loan officers because the leads you're generating more than likely are garbage. They're no good. And your loan officer, who's already probably pretty busy, if they're successful, they're not gonna work your leads. You're burning leads, you're burning time, you're burning money, you're burning relationships at the end of the day. You don't want that. Good loan officers don't want your leads. They want other things. They wanna know that you're reliable. They wanna know that they can count on you. They wanna know that you're quick. They wanna know that you care about them, their business, and their customers more than you care about anything else. So if you can demonstrate that, that's how you're gonna win with loan officers. The lead for lead thing, it's no good. So stop doing that. Drop that today. You're gonna save yourself a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money, and all this time that you're spending trying to learn the Facebook ads platform or any other ads platform is time that you could be investing in your agency, in your staff, hiring people, training, going out in the community, other things that could bring a better long-term value to your agency than having to learn how to become a marketer. I think that if you wanna hire a marketing agency because you have 100 loan officers or whatever, and you wanna add that service, I think it's a little bit different, but I think for the the insurance agent who's maybe got 2 or 3 or 4 or under 10 reliable loan officers studying the business, this is not something that you should be doing because it's only gonna burn bridges. Trust me, I've been down this road more than once. You're gonna burn the bridge that you're trying to go across, and it's not gonna be pretty. People are gonna get pissed when you start giving them bad leads, and they're not gonna blame themselves. They're not gonna blame their lack of processes. You know who they blame? They blame you. When it comes to the worst things that agents could be doing for their agency marketing, I call this next one the OMG. I can't believe people are still doing this. If you're still doing the Dave Ramsey endorsed local provider program, you need to drop that immediately. I can't believe agents are still doing this. I've heard that lead costs are now above $75 a lead. Some of them are $90 or close to $100 a lead. You're paying $100 a lead for personal lines? This is ridiculous. This is worse than buying regular leads. This is worse than being on Latip. This is worse than leads from loan officers. This is gotta stop. You can't be doing that. When I was a Dave Ramsey endorsed local provider, yes, I used to be an ELP. I still like a lot of what Dave talks about. Not always. I don't agree with everything. He's got some work to do. But when I was an ELP, I think the lead cost was like $40. I think even then we were thinking that's kind of high. But there are still agents out there who are paying $100 a lead, and they're closing 20% of them, 25% of them. I'm not a math whiz, but I think that's like $400 a conversion. And then for people that want to save the most amount of money, the people that are going to call you every year and you have to re-quote them or they're going to leave, the worst clients that you could ever ask for. Now, I know there are people watching this and they're like, I close over 50% of my leads. People stick on for this much longer. I get referrals. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. In fact, one of my very best friends, shout out to Brandon Smith. I'm gonna put his picture right here. Brandon Smith, he's a hunk. He's awesome. He does great with the endorsed local provider program. But you know what his secret is? He doesn't just sell them insurance. He sells financial planning. He sells Medicare. He sells all this other stuff. It's different for him. There are a lot of agents who only sell home and auto, and they're doing this? Oh my goodness. Could you be spending time and money and energy elsewhere? Don't be doing that. Drop out of it. Get out of that immediately and put your time into one of the best platforms. Use that money, the thousands of dollars that you were spending on the Dave Ramsey ELP program, and go put somebody on your team who understands marketing. Go invest that money in finding the right clients for your agency. Don't spend your time or your money on these frivolous programs that aren't going to get you where you want to go. Hey, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Make sure you do all the YouTube things. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, share, do all that stuff. It really helps the channel out a ton. And we'll see you again on the next video.